All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachach Kodash, the bonds to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Citation to Allah can put your word to serve with charity. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, whom the word and he calls God and Jehovah. Bahasham is in the name. Yahweh Shai is his son's name, with the word and he calls Jesus, and Rachach Kodash is the Holy Spirit. As always, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans are the Israelites according to the Holy Scriptures. So it's the speckled bird, the scattered Israelite foreigners, scattered amongst other nations, whose outer appearance may seem to be of those nations to whom they've been scattered to, but whose lineage through their father's line go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You are Israelites, no matter what your outer appearance may seem to be. And as always, I'm the brother you died from the Great Millstone Branch out here in Chicago, and I'm back with another lesson. It's going to be entitled rebuking that young and turnt spirit, because they are women. Since a woman's body, they tend to reach their peak at an earlier age. They peak in life. They look their bestest, at an early age, so to say, And I witnessed this with my own eyes with my sister. And that's why the scriptures tell you to watch over your daughter, have care for their bodies, because it's a weighty matter. Because when our women do get all beautiful and so forth, they come into the flower of their age. They're looking their best. If they're not watched over, they're gonna eventually use that beautifulness and the curves and the perkiness, and it's gonna get to their head, and they're gonna misuse and abuse themselves, and ultimately result in this. You see, now this is on Instagram. It's this woman. The title says that this woman, she missed the first 11 years of her son's life. And why is that? Why? Because she was out there. As you can see, she got a tattoo on her chest. She still looked kind of youthful, so you could tell that she had them young. And ultimately, she was just jumping around from house to house. I don't know her specific backstory, but nevertheless, it's the same thing with many of these young women. Also, which inspired this lesson, was this girl I know, 14. I don't know her like that, but she's like 14, and she made this quote. She said, "I'm not stressing over no nigga. I'm young and turnt." What she really mean is I'm looking good and I'm young, and she's prideful. It's in her head, but ultimately all that lifestyle, that fast lifestyle, these women bounce around to men, at a young age, it results in what? Children out of children out of defiled beds, man. And ultimately a hard and life full of unnecessary hurt. You see, but we're gonna go ahead and just watch this video. You see.
Tell her it's okay. Give her a hug. Tell her it's okay.
Hold on.
My son met his birth mom for the first time.
You can tell, she probably was, dangling with some drugs and so forth, or alcoholism, whatever it was, things that she ought not to be doing. And they look at the effect of living that lifestyle, Now she has no home,
You tell her you understand.
Has no inheritance ultimately. Why? Because she was running the streets, man. I'm so sorry. This is where you young woman are gonna
tell her it's okay. Give her a hug. Tell her it's okay. It's okay.
Nah, we all do make mistakes, but the Lord, you women need to come to repentance, man. That running the street.
And I've always let him know that you did it out of love.
Talk to any of these older women. Don't have no husbands. Don't have a home.
We've never talked down on you.
Multiple children or multiple baby daddies.
That's we never talked bad about her.
You see regret in her face. She chose the streets.
My friends with their sons and stuff. I just feel so bad.
Oh, what she just said?
I know I got a baby.
And you still got her.
I just feel so bad.
It's okay.
I feel like
it's okay. It's okay.
I talk about them all the time, and I see my friends with their sons and stuff.
Exactly. She wasted all that time,
I know I got a baby.
And you still got it.
Carrying herself as an Israelite woman should be. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into them scriptures. This is Ecclesiastes 11:9. It says, "Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes." And the scriptures, they're admonishing you right here, It says, but they're warning you, right? It says, "But know thou that for all these things the Most High will bring thee into judgment." So if you want to be in that spirit of carelessness, that YOLO spirit, that I don't care, you only live once, I got to do this, I got to do that. That goes for the men and the women, right? Hey, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and abuse yourself, but just know The Most High is gonna bring thee into judgment. He's gonna render unto you as your works have been. You know, it says, verse 10, therefore remove sorrow from thy heart and put away evil from thy flesh. So the scriptures is telling you, like, look, the Lord gonna fuck you up if you living like that. But guess what? Don't live like that. Put away the evil from thy flesh. It says, for childhood and youth are vanity. And that stage in which our women look the best, ultimately, it ain't gonna profit them if they're ripping and running to different men, you know? Now they can't bond with a man. Say they don't have no kids, but they can't really stick and connect with a man because they done been through various different men. The scriptures tell you that a woman should be the husband of one man. And when that order is followed, just goodness comes from that, man. A whole lot of confusion doesn't spring forth. You know, you're not going to have as many problems as the next man. Look at the black community, man. Basically all the children are out of wedlock, you know, adultery babies and so forth. Whole bunch of ripping and running. You got men in jail over these same women, man. But nevertheless, it says, therefore remove sorrow from thy heart and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity. It's futile. It's meaningless. You know, you young and you good. You know, biblically, according to the law, you know, your husband's supposed to marry you off to a man of understanding. Why? Because that man is going to be able to take care of you, you know, and you're going to be able to further his inheritance, further his legacy, you know. You're going to be with that man for a lengthy time. You're going to know him. He's going to know you. You're going to bear his children. You're going to take care of the children, you know. And, ultimately, you're going to have a dwelling place, you know. But, look at the case in this woman, you know. She was running the streets, you know, dibbling, dabbling, doing this and doing that. 11 years later, you know, she looked like she probably came to her sense, you know, her right mind. Now she come back to her home. Her son doesn't know her. That's 11 years, man. That's 11 years. Son doesn't know her. She don't have nowhere to go. She's mentally and spiritually immature. She doesn't know how to be a woman. You know, many men probably been up inside of her. You see, and that's why the scriptures tell you take hold on to take hold onto the commandments of life. Take hold onto this light and be illuminated, man, because it's nothing but darkness. The ways that the serpent, Esau eating the serpent claim white man gave us, they don't profit us, man. You know, our women testing the waters, going to college just to get burnt out, man, at an early age, abusing themselves. This is 1 Timothy 5 and 6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, and the Lord is going to judge you for that, man. You see? Too much of anything. If you're just living in pleasure as far as women, man, you may be getting all the attention, you may be, you know, feeling good, but nevertheless, you're gonna end up burnt out, man. I talk about my sister all the time. You see, she grew up, she was light skinned, you know, did sports, smart, you know, pretty gorgeous and so forth, right? She wasn't washed over how she should have, and that got to her head, and one dude led to another dude and many dudes. Now she has 2 different kids. She has 2 children with 2 different baby fathers, burnt out. And man, she's just turned 23. You know, don't have her own crib. You know, can't find a man to stay with her. Why? Because she abused herself in her youth. You see, this is Sirach 25 and 3. If thou hast gathered nothing in thy youth, how canst thou find anything in thine age? And our women are not meant to be out here just going about trying to be men, man. Fucking on every, you know, you're not men. You can't just do that. You see, a young woman is supposed to be looking more so destined on that family structure. That's your role as a woman. You see, so in your youth, you're supposed to get with that one man, you know, and learn to be a woman and be a mother. Proverbs 31st chapter talks about a virtuous woman. That's what you should be doing. Not trying to run the streets and have fun and party up, or go to college and, you know, have a relationship here and there and there and there. Nah, that doesn't work for you, because it ultimately ends in death, because the Lord didn't ordain that way for you to be living like that. You see, this is 1 Timothy 5 and 9. It says, let not a widow be taken into the number under 60 years old, having been the wife of one man. Will report her of for good works, if she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved the afflicted, she have diligently followed every good work. So these are good work our women could be doing. It says, if she have diligently followed every good work, it says, but the younger widows refuse. For they have begun to wax wanton against Mashiach. They will marry, having damnation, because they have cast off their first faith. And withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tallers also, and busybodies. And that's what a lot of our women are. Hey, talking about this and that, busybodies, man. Going to house, right? And not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. I would therefore, so this solution, I would therefore that the younger women marry. Hey, sex is marriage. Get with that one man of the Lord and settle your ass down. And stay out the way, man, because all these other women are finna get judged, man. That lifestyle may seem fun. It's not even fun. It's pleasurable to the flesh, but it's killing your spirit. It says, speaking things which they ought not. I would therefore that the younger woman marry, bear children, have children, guide the house, so order your crib, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Hey, don't give Satan anything to say against you, don't flee. Certainly don't flee the self-proclaimed white man. To hell with him. It says, for some are already turned aside after Satan. And multitude of women, they like the left hand. What the left hand is giving them, as far as the dainty, so to say. Oh, Section 8, get your man out the house. Oh, OnlyFans, this will pay your bills. Oh, have many dudes that you could just fuck on. Just have one dude for one day of the week, for this, for the food, for the drive, and our women are chasing that, but ultimately that ends in destruction. This is Sirach 26:9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. You see, verse 8. So as the scriptures tell you, our women shouldn't be let me just get it. Costly array. This is 1 Timothy 2:9. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. You're not supposed to be out here wearing all that lewd, I forget what the word is. Basically all that thought, that thought attire, man. Let's not beat around the bush, man. These women know what they be wearing. It says, I would therefore that men pray, it's like verse 8, I would therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. And like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not just getting drunk and high every day, man, on to social media, man. It says, not with broiled hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Now things that catch the eye, standing out, right? It says, but which become of women professing godliness. So adorn yourself as women that's seeking after the Most High, that's looking to please the Most High. It says with good works. You see? That's enough of that. This is Sirach chapter 26:10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly. And a lot of these young women, they contemn shame. You see all this twerking and shit, like, you do it for your husband, that's beautiful. But all on the internet, ass naked, literally. They're not even ashamed to do these things, man. I remember, they at least try to hide it, or, if a girl get exposed, they're trying, But nowadays, they are praised for these things. So they're contemning, they're thinking little of shameful acts that they're doing, right? It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly. So keep her ass in a crib, locked up, man. Lest she, so you can, it's like it says, lest she, so you can prevent her, right? Lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And that's exactly what the serpent has given them, man. Liberty to gad abroad, liberty to show themselves to everybody. He giving you all the tools to destroy yourself, man. He gave you access to social media, so now you can tell everybody what you thinking, what you want to do. You can see what this dude got, you can see what that dude got, and you can pick and choose, right? That's abusing himself through overmuch liberty. It says, verse 11, watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. And the freedom and just the path of majority of our women, don't even try and, don't even stress yourself out trying to get these women to act right, because they're not going to act right. Verse 11, watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler. When he have found a fountain and drink of every water near her, by every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. So if you don't be on your daughter ass like that, she's gonna abuse herself and let any and every dude get up in there, crack. Let's not beat around the bush, And ultimately, what does that lead to, man? Running the streets. I want to be with this dude and that dude, and Look at the young boy, man. Come on, come on now. Come on now. Look at the hurt though, man. Why? Because she want to be foolish. She want to run the streets, man. All that hurt and unnecessary hurt, man. This is Sirach 26 and 24. A dishonest woman contempt of shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. So a dishonest woman, she's not gonna, she's not gonna think much of these shameful acts, man. She's gonna contempt them. She's not gonna think much of them. Shaking ass on Twitter and on Facebook Live, that ain't nothing to her. She's not discreet. It says, but an honest woman will reverence her husband, will have a fearful respect for her husband. And that's a virtuous thing, and that's pleasing in the eyes of the Lord. This is Sirach 22 and verse 4. A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband. That's you women's sole purpose. You have a womb on you to bring forth children and to guide them children the right way, not to do all these other career paths that Esau, even the devil, the deceiver, have given you. A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband, but she that liveth dishonestly, what's living dishonestly? Sleeping around, with different men, lying, drinking, getting high, doing all these things that they do today. Twerking is her father's heaviness. Because ultimately, what's this going to result in? The woman ripping and running the streets. Now she got children. She not going to raise the children because she is a child herself, don't know how to raise children. So now the grandma got to raise the children. The father, he a laughing stock in the city. That's what the scriptures say. I'm going to grab that as a matter of fact. Sirach 42, perfect. In verse 9, it says, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care of her taketh away sleep. And our women play a very important role, you see. And the care, the father, oh man. It says, and the care for her taketh away sleep when she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age. Exactly. Because that's when our women look the best, and mistakes made in youth result in a life full of uncomfortability, a burden upon everybody. It says, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated. Lest she, here she was sleeping around, she was sleeping around. Now when you go ahead and marry her off, she's not a virgin. Now, according, I believe it was Deuteronomy 22, you bring her before, the congregation, so forth. Now, we're not going to do that nowadays, but that's still heaviness. And now your daughter is looked as a whore. It says, and being married, lest she should be hated. Verse 10, in her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house. And that's the story of all of our women, man. They get pregnant. They mess around with no good ass dudes, probably the same age as them, if not a little bit older, that have no intent or care for them, And now it's a whole baby born. It says, with child in her father's house, and having a husband, lest she should misbehave herself, and when she is married, lest she should be barren. So it starts in your youth. If your daughter's just careless and wanton when she's young, sleeping around, when she get a man, she's gonna be the same way. Verse 11, keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she shall make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies. That your daughter a hoe. Damn, your daughter she 12 years old and pregnant. Your daughter just went to high school and she pregnant, and you ain't stopped that. And this is things that I can personally attest to. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she shall make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies, and a byword in the city, and a reproach among the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. You see? This is Sirach 22 and verse 4. A wise daughter shall bring an inheritance to her husband. She's going to come in a perfect world. She's going to be a virgin. She's going to know how to serve her man. She's going to be to his benefit. She'll bring an inheritance to her husband, but she that liveth dishonestly is her father's heaviness. She that is bold, and we go into this word bold, it means, I believe it means basically, I forget what it means. It means out of order. Basically overstepping boundaries. It says, but she that is bold dishonoreth both her father and her husband, but they both shall despise her. So, you don't want no bold, overstepping of the boundaries as a woman, Let me try and find this one more. Because there's a lot of children. Inquisition. This is Sirach chapter 23. And 22, thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth in an heir by another. And these women, we're a generation of adulterers, man. It is what it is. But verse 23, for first she have disobeyed the law of the Most High, and secondly, she have trespassed against her own husband, and thirdly, she have played the whore in adultery and brought children by another man. And this is something that the black community just turned out over to. But this is a unruly evil. It says, verse 24, she shall be brought out into the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children. And it's a lot of babies walking around this earth that should not have been born, or was born through defiled beds. Verse 25, her children shall not take root, and her branches shall bring forth no fruit. She shall leave her memory to be cursed, and her reproach shall not be blotted out. You see? Verse 27, and they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of the Lord. Because if you fear the Lord, you're not going to do certain things. You're not going to be living dishonestly. You're not going to be ripping and running in the streets. It says, and there is nothing better than the fear of the Lord, and that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of the Lord. Verse 28, it is great glory to follow the Lord and to be received of him as long life. It's great glory to do what the Lord told us to do, man. It leads to nothing but perfect goodness. You see? Hey, Lord willing, this is a quick edifying lesson called Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakak, Kodash. The bonds to the elders, the apostles of the great millstone, said, taste to Allah, I can push the word to charity with charity. Shalom, Barak, Thumb, and a Bible ball.